Hi, I'm Jessica from Jessica Wanders, and this is week number 3 of my $21 a week grocery challenge, where I spend $21, usually Canadian, on groceries, and I try to make 21 meals, 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, and 7 dinners, and then I roll over the groceries and try to build a pantry over time. If you're new here, I'll leave a link up here to the entire 2024 $21 a week grocery challenge if you want to watch everything from the beginning. As always, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can click my face, you can subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified when I drop new content, and check out the join button for other ways to support my channel. This week was a little bit different. I did have a trip where I traveled to the United States last week, and I ended up buying $21 US worth of groceries and brought them back and did my challenge with those groceries. I'll take you shopping with me, show you what I bought, and then we'll see what I came up with for this week. The first place that I checked out was Target, and I actually didn't find the prices too crazy amazing, except for these eggs were $1.99, which is way less than I pay for eggs here. $3.79 for salted butter was okay. The cheese was pretty cheap, $2.29. The fruits were pretty cheap. I mean, they were about the same price, so it would cost me more. 99 cents pasta I can get also in Canada. So if it was 99 cents, it's actually more expensive for me to buy it with the exchange rate. Lots of just regular soups. I didn't think that Target had great prices, honestly. I didn't end up buying anything here. We were there for something else, but I was just checking out prices. This 85 cent for black beans was a pretty good price, I thought, for the cans of beans. I don't see that price in Canada. Their mac and cheese was $1.29, which is about what I can get it for in Canada. So it's not a great deal. Bread was about the same sticker price as well, which is not a great deal for me. And then the only other thing I saw at Target was this 75-cent mustard was a pretty good price. Yeah, cereals looked about the same. And then I went to the grocery outlet. They didn't have an Aldi's where I was, so this was kind of the next best thing. Things looked better here at the grocery outlet store. The produce did look cheaper. This $2.99 potatoes caught my eye right at the door. $2.99 for a 10-pound bag of potatoes is a pretty good price. Other things looked fairly inexpensive here as well. The milk prices were pretty good. $3.49, which is cheaper even with the exchange on milk. And then also, I think the butter wasn't that much cheaper. There's a lot of prices that the sticker price looks the same. So for me, it's going to cost more money with the exchange rates. $2.99, $4.99 for those triple cheddar bags. I mean, it looks like they have more cheese, so that would make it cheaper. This 1 pound of butter for $4.99 is the same sticker price, but would cost me more money. This had butter. It was $1.99, but look, it was all gone. Land O'Lakes butter, that would have been a great deal, $1.99. And then a lot of times the cheapest version of the thing wasn't available when I was there. Obviously, the good deals sell out faster. I almost got this $3.99 bacon, $3.99. It's a little bit cheaper than it is here for 1 pound of ground beef. These whole chickens were a great deal at $1.49 a pound. And then $2, that was $7.49. $2.49 for Coastal Organic chicken drumsticks was a stellar deal. This ground turkey Italian style was actually pretty cheap, $2.99 taco seasoned ground turkey. That seemed like a good deal. And then these chickens were $1.49. $6.79 is a great deal on a whole bunch of chicken. The rest of their stuff was pretty regularly priced. I did find a few things that I had not really seen before. Fruit was not too bad. I did come across this 99-cent peaches, which was the cheapest canned fruit that I saw. 99-cent peach slices, 99-cent whatever that was. And these things, so instant potatoes, common, 50 cents a pack is pretty good price. And then I noticed that you have instant sweet potato, mashed sweet potatoes, and I think it's either been a long time since I've seen that or I've never seen it. But I was pretty interested in that, but I didn't end up getting that one. Just looking around for good deals. 99-cent, whatever that is. I don't know what that was. Spam. Oh, Spam caught my eye. It didn't look cheap. $3.98 for Spam. And then I found these quail eggs and water. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but that's an amazing thing. Quail eggs and water. That's shelf-stable eggs right there. And then I found the bean section. There were these giant bags for $4.99. These giant bags of pinto beans. And I didn't really have that much money to spend, but that's a big bag of beans. And then I found lentils, and then I saw Fiesta, $1.29 for Fiesta 16 bean soup mix. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen that in Canada before. I was so excited. We're back in the first $21 a week grocery challenge. 16 bean soup was suggested in the first $21 challenge, and I had no idea what it was. These little bags, these 1 pound bags of beans were kind of convenient. Peas were 99 cents, split peas. Huge giant bags of pinto beans. These funny little things, for 59 cents you could get 1 pound of alphabet letters, and 59 cents for just elbow kind of pasta noodle. Lentils were $1.29. I found all the tomato products were very inexpensive. Tomato paste for 50 cents. That's about as cheap as you can get it here. 50 cents. It doesn't, yeah, but you don't see it very often. And then 50 cents also for diced tomatoes. These giant bags of chili darble. I grow these in my garden, but we don't see these giant bags. So that was pretty cool. And also chili darble spice. 99-cent Rotel. They had regular and they had hot. Yes, hot, 99 cents. $1.79. Oh, right. For this giant jar of jalapenos, which Mr. Wanders thought was amazing, but no. These $1.79 for these corn tortillas. We just don't get that kind of stuff. We don't see it very much where I live. These cabbages were cheap for 47 cents a pound, but I almost have cabbages coming out of my garden, so I didn't grab that deal. Lots of other produce, just regularly priced. And then I felt like I was missing out on the really, really best deals, because here there was some salads, $1.97, but clearly they had been picked over. A packaged salad, $1.69 over there. So I was missing out. I was missing out on some of the best deals. But these russet potatoes, cheaper than the ones even that were at the front door, were $1.79. I had fun looking at different kinds of things that they had at this grocery outlet store, things that I hadn't seen before. In the drink section, they had this Oatly oat milk that I'd never seen. I've never actually tried oat milk, but it was only 99 cents. So that's pretty good. Half and half oat milk. And then bread, generally speaking, looked about the same price. Yeah, 97-cent donuts though. I mean, who's gonna pass that up? I thought, this week, I'm going to spend $21 American, 21 US dollars. This is everything that I got. I'm going to use my eggs, like I said, and I'm just going to use them at the prices that I saw at Target in the United States, which were amazing. Amazing egg prices. I was so amazed at the egg prices there. I did get this chicken, which is the only thing that required refrigeration. It was $6.79, 4.5 pounds of chicken for $6.79, which I thought was pretty good. It's a big package of chicken. For a $21 a week grocery challenge, that's a big package of chicken. The eggs I saw at Target, I think they were $1.99. That's the price that I'm going to include for these eggs. Russet potatoes, I do have probably new potatoes coming out of the garden, but I could not believe the price, $1.99 for this 5-pound bag of russet potatoes. So canned fruit prices were pretty impressive to me. 99 cents. Nope, they were $1.29, which is still kind of cheap for me. I don't know if they're still cheap with the exchange, but I was just going to spend $21 American. So $21. Let's see what we can buy for $21 American. These you don't often see too much in Canada. I love this. Little for tacos, hand tacos. They're great. White corn tortillas were only $2.49. I've never tried this oat milk. I've never tried oat milk, honestly. I hear you can make it yourself. I wanted to try that, but I've never tried it. Oatly, half and half, was only 99 cents. All the tomato products seem to be pretty cheap. The tomato paste was 50 cents. The diced tomatoes were 50 cents each. Rotel, extra hot, was only 99 cents. I've tried the mild one before, but I thought I'd try the hot one because the mild one wasn't really spicy at all. I picked up some stuff at the hotel we were staying at. I've got a little bit of honey, a little bit of peanut butter, and then this pancake syrup. And I got some black beans. I don't know if you've been watching me since the beginning. I had to buy this 16 bean soup mix because in the first $21 a week grocery challenge, there were so many suggestions for me to make 16 bean soup. I tried making it with less beans, but then when I saw this 16 bean soup mix, I'm like, oh, Steven Stonehawker, a 16 bean soup mix. There you go. I'm going to try and make a 16 bean soup, obviously. And then I also grabbed some black beans. A variety bean soup for $1.29. Black beans were also $1.29. That is everything that I got. $18.71 at Grocery Outlet Plus. $1.99 for eggs I could have bought at Target, but I'll just use my own. Plus $1.99 gives a grand total, a little bit under $20.70 for this week's $21 a week grocery challenge. Let's see what I came up with this week. For 2 breakfasts this week, I am going to try this oat milk. Oat milk. Wow, no cow. In some breakfast smoothies. I'm going to use these smaller strawberries out of the garden. These are the kind of the last ones of a few older plants. And they're not so great, but I'm going to top them and throw them in the smoothie. A few raspberries that I picked out of the garden. I'm going to use this peach juice and maybe a couple of peaches, but not this whole can of peaches. I'm after the peachy juice, and probably a couple of tablespoons of that yogurt that I made just to do up 2 smoothies for breakfasts. And then I'll have these peaches left over for other recipes. Just rinsed out the oat milk. Got about 2 cups of these tiny, tiny strawberries. They look so much nicer once they're stemmed and washed. I'm interested to know what this tastes like with the oat milk in it, because I've never actually had oat milk before. Okay, let's see if oat milk tastes good. Tastes like strawberry. Mostly strawberry. There's strawberry, raspberry, peach, oat milk, yogurt, and that's it. I was thinking about putting some of that honey in, but I didn't. I think the peach juice made it sweet enough. Yeah, it's not bad. What would I want in there? Maybe more yogurt. I'm not sure the oat milk gives it the nice dairy that, that I like. Maybe with a little bit more yogurt, another tablespoon of yogurt in there, it would be yummy. It's still pretty good for 2 breakfasts. And I still have half of these little strawberries left. Good morning. For 3 breakfasts, I'm going to make a loaf. It's probably more than 3 breakfasts for me, but I'm going to make a banana strawberry loaf. In this pan, I've got sugar and flour, salt, strawberries, bananas, eggs, butter, and I have baking powder. And I found a cool recipe, a strawberry banana loaf recipe that called for baking soda. And I'm just going to use 3 times as much baking powder as baking soda. And hopefully it works and doesn't kind of ruin the taste. It does need very much baking soda. So that's what I'm making for 3 breakfasts. $3.75. I have 2 ounces or a 1/4 cup of butter. 1 egg. We're gonna call this 3/4 of a cup, even though I think it's probably a little bit more. It's like, sure, but that used up all the rest of my tiny little strawberries. So we're gonna throw them all in there. I'm gonna mix them up with a tablespoon of flour. I have 1.5 frozen bananas. I find it's just the easiest thing to throw these into the freezer, just in their peels, and then they come right out. Just gonna kind of mush them up. They're already pretty mushy. Half a cup of sugar. 1/4 cup of butter that is just kind of softened. One egg. One and a half bananas. I still have a half of a banana in the freezer. 1 cup of flour. I sub 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder for half a teaspoon of baking soda. I should just buy some baking soda. It's really relatively inexpensive. I should have bought it instead of the baking powder, maybe, just in trying to stock up the pantry. And then I'm not going to put as much salt as I would. Instead of a 1/4 teaspoon, I'm just going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in there. There's a little bit of salt in the baking powder. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. You can sift this if you want to. I'm just going to mix it up with a whisk, blend it all together. All right, this seems really stiff actually. I'm gonna fold in very carefully all of this 3/4 of a cup of strawberries, and we'll see what happens. I did grease this little pan. It's 8.5 by 4.5 inches. You could use butter. I just used oil because my butter is precious. And I'm gonna pour this sticky mess of strawberry banana loaf goodness in here. Just kind of flattening it out and making a big mess. And put this in for 375 for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to reduce it to 350 for 30 minutes. And, oh, this looks pretty good. It's coming out clean. It smells wonderful. Banana-y and strawberry. I'm just going to let it cool a little bit, then we'll have some for breakfast. I can easily make 6 slices out of this. They look so nice and moist inside. Smell so much like strawberries and banana. Oh, it's lovely. That is a lot for breakfast, actually. I could maybe just have 3 breakfasts and then freeze the rest of this. Or just eat it as snacks. Look at all the strawberries in there. Oh, it's so good. So that is at least 3 breakfasts. And I did a meal prep in case you wanted to save it, take it to work. I think it would reheat beautifully. I didn't put any butter on it. I'm just gonna give it a try, but you could definitely. My butter is so precious. Look at that, so moist. I like it. It's like a very nice banana bread with extra strawberries. I'm loving it for strawberry season. I was subbing the baking powder for the baking soda. It didn't really give it any kind of weird taste or anything. Perfect. 3 breakfasts: banana bread, banana and strawberry bread. Good morning. This morning for breakfast, I have some strawberries from the garden. I have these peaches from the canned peaches. I used some of them in the smoothies that I made for breakfast. I was going to do something else with them, but geez, I'm so tired this week. I think it's all the rain. I'm just going to have them with some yogurt, and then I scooped this package of honey from our vacation trip, and I'm going to drizzle that on top, and we're going to just have fruit and yogurt for breakfast. If I had some granola or cereal or anything I could throw in there too, I would, but I don't. These peaches that I bought in the United States are a lot more sort of yellow colored, a lot less orange than I'm used to. I wonder if it's a different kind of peach or something. Not sure. Still have lots of this plain yogurt. It's not very sweet or anything, so I'm glad I have that honey. And this honey, A little bit of honey on our yogurt, fruit and yogurt breakfasts for 2 breakfasts. For 4 lunches, I'm going to do this 16 bean soup mix. It tells you how to cook them on the back. I am going to probably bring them to a boil and boil them for some time, rinse and drain. Got these diced tomatoes I'm going to use, a couple of potatoes, some turnips and garlic scapes, and a tiny bit of spinach still left. I'm going to add some of this chicken broth bean soup for lunch, for 4 lunches. I think I'm only going to do half of this, which is about half a pound. 8 ounces of this wonderful bean soup. I tried to check it for stones, but I'm not sure that I would be able to spot them in this kind of mix of things, but there they are. 8 ounces of the beans and about 4 cups, just enough water to cover them. I'm going to boil them for about an hour till they are getting soft. It's a lot of different kinds of beans, just saying. While the beans are continuing to cook, we're going to get some soup started. I've got 1 tablespoon of oil, some green onions, just the white part of that really big green onion. I chopped up some tender parts of these garlic scapes. I've got 2 potatoes and about 2 turnips. I have 1 can of diced tomatoes. It has basil and garlic and oregano in it. I'm gonna put 2 chicken bouillon cubes. It says 1 cube does 2 cups, so I'm gonna add 2 of them. And 4 cups of water, maybe more. And I have a bunch of cooked beans that I tried to drain the best I could. We're just gonna dump it in here. Beans and tomatoes and turnips and potatoes and garlic scapes and a little bit of green onion. Chicken bouillon has seasoning in it, and then of course the tomatoes had some basil and oregano. It's coming out along nicely, but I tasted it and I added about a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of salt to that. While the soup is cooking away, I was thinking that I would try to crisp up some of these corn tortillas in the oven, just as kind of like crackers. It's kind of like crackers. I think if I do them 4 minutes on each side, they should be okay. 1.5 per bowl. Oh, the most important part, I'm going to brush them with oil. I'm going to brush them with oil first. I don't want to get this everywhere. Gonna put these in at 400 for 4 minutes and then flip them. In the last couple of minutes, I'm just gonna add a little bit of spinach that I have. I'm always flipping things. Flipping. I don't think it was quite hot enough, maybe. Yeah, back in. This is the soup. I added pepper and salt. I think that I gave it a taste. It could easily take some hot red pepper flakes or some chili powder or something like that. Anything you want to add to it that would definitely spice it up would be wonderful. It is smelling really wonderful, and it is making some pretty big servings. I'm happy with it. Only just using half of the beans and a bunch of things from the garden. I even kept some of these green onions aside so that if you like them on top, you can just put them on top like that. I'm gonna save these for the other 2 servings. And then I got these wonderful kind of oven toasty corn tortillas. I think they make excellent crackers, for sure. And like a beautiful display. 1 serving of, let's call it vegetable bean soup. 2 servings of vegetable bean soup. 3 servings of vegetable bean soup. 4 servings of vegetable bean soup. If you wanted to meal prep, I think they would freeze really nicely. Let's try. Beans and veggies and tomatoes, some green onions. I think there's peas in there too, yellow peas and green peas. That's pretty good. Those green onions are nice on top. Turnips are good. Potatoes. And I like it with this little crunchy. I think some chili powder and some red pepper flakes will go wonderful in there. I know it's been a long time, but I got to give a shout out to Steven Stonehocker for his suggestion of 16 bean soup that has stayed with me all these years. As soon as I saw it in the store, I'm like, I got to try this. Actually, a nice little mix. Lots of different kinds of beans, chickpeas, peas, lentils. I like it. And only 99 cents for a pound. It's awesome. Yummy lunches. I had a great suggestion from a viewer, Mobo, to chop up these chicken burger patties into anything like a tomato sauce or a soup or something. And I still have this 1 box of white cheddar deluxe macaroni and cheese. I think I'm gonna chop up my chicken burgers that are left over, throw them in this mac and cheese. I've got a buffalo sauce, oat milk to use to make up the mac and cheese, and a little bit of butter. 3 lunches. Just isn't looking like very much pasta for 3 lunches, so I have a leftover fusilli that I'm going to throw in there too. Just about a cup of this fusilli pasta. Butter, cheese mix, oat milk. Then I've got 2 diced up, chopped up chicken patties. They held together really well. I think they would do nicely in a soup. Mobo was a great suggestion to put them in a soup. I think they would hold up. But we're just gonna put them in here right now. I toyed with the idea of maybe just saving the buffalo dipping sauce, or just putting it in. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Kind of a spicy buffalo taste that I'm not super used to, but I think it'll make it kind of spicy, kind of smoky. It'll spread out. It won't be so bad mixed all in there, I think. Smells weird. It smells like that buffalo dipping sauce. Meh. It's not my favorite thing, but it's gone now. There we go. It made 3 meals. Pretty large meals for lunch. You could pair it with a salad or something to fill it out. Chicken burger, buffalo chicken burger, mac and cheese for 3 lunches. Including 1 meal prep to go to work or something. I was worried it would turn bright red with that buffalo sauce, but it didn't. It mixed right in. Kind of pairing 2 things that I don't really like. Ground chicken with that buffalo dipping sauce. Got rid of both of them. A little spicy. It's okay. It's good. A little spicy. A little spicy, a little smoky. It's not bad. Ugh. I don't like ground chicken. I just don't particularly like ground chicken, I think. This is okay for a few lunches. Ketchup packets I don't think they're going to be able to lure me in with that cheap ground chicken price anymore. I don't think so. Maybe I should try ground turkey. Which do you like better, ground chicken or ground turkey? Yeah. I mean, ketchup makes a lot of things better. There you go. We're gonna cook up some chicken for a couple of different recipes. It's $1.50, $1.48, $1.50 a pound. For me, with the exchange, it still works out for me about $2 a pound, which is the cheapest chicken that I can buy here in Canada anyways. We don't see it very often. Like $1.99 a pound chicken is not common. I've got this. It's quite a few pieces of chicken, 10 drumsticks, fairly big drumsticks. I'm gonna cook 2 different batches because I want to do some for dinners and then some that I'm just going to cook and take the meat off of them. I might do one in a saucy barbecue. Let's see what we have in the condiment drawer. I did skin and pat dry all of these. They look like giant chicken. Like that was like a giant T-Rex chicken. I've never seen drumsticks quite this big, actually, I don't think. In America, you have bigger chickens. 400. I'm using these ranch things, these ranch dipping sauces. I'm gonna do 4 of these chicken drumsticks in this ranch dressing. I'm just gonna mix them up in here and bake them. These ones I'm just gonna oil and salt and pepper and throw them in there because I really just want the meat off of these. Okay, I just had a great idea. I have these breadcrumbs that I made last week, and I have some of these seasonings. I'm gonna make some seasoned breadcrumbs. I'm gonna dip it in the ranch and I'm gonna coat it in the breadcrumbs for the ones that I'm making for dinners. I think it'll be fabulous. So I'm thinking about switching up all of my individual spices and just putting in an Italian seasoning spice in the spice rack. All the different ones are taking up a lot of room, and I still don't have rosemary. And I still haven't filled that empty one yet. I haven't come across a spice that I've wanted yet. So, coat chicken. Bread chicken. This is a brilliant idea. I'm so happy with my own damn self right now. I'll just put it back in, breaded and spicied. Perfect. It's like make your own shake and bake. I've definitely tried it with mayonnaise before, and the chicken ended up being so tender. I think it just keeps all the juices inside when it's coated in the mayonnaise, so it works out really well. Yummy. Perfect. We're gonna put both of these in the oven at 400 for about 35 or 40 minutes. I did take off all of the chicken fat from the drumsticks. I could render it right now into schmaltz, but I'm just gonna put it in the freezer in a bag, and then later on, right now I have butter and oil that I can cook with, so I'm gonna save this for later in the freezer. Let's test the temperature. They're 179. Oh, 180. 180. Oh, some parts are hotter. 189, 191. So those look good. Those that I just cooked for the meat, I'll let cool, and then I'll take all the meat off of it. But these are for eating. I upped the temperature to 425. Chopped up a bunch of my beautiful turnips. Are looking gorgeous this year. It's always going to be cheaper to eat what's in season, and it's even cheaper if you can grow it. So these were growing and they look fabulous. Sometimes they get a little wormy. I haven't had too much of that on these turnips this year, so I'm super happy. Throw a little oil, olive oil if you want to, or whatever oil you have in there. A little bit of pepper. I love turnips. I didn't even know I loved turnips because we didn't really eat them too much when I was a kid. So I just thought, oh, turnips is just an old-fashioned vegetable that nobody eats anymore, but I love the taste of them. They're kind of like a mild radish, and when you cook them and bake them, they just have an even better flavor. Just a little bit of salt in there. Just gonna mix that all up, coat it in the oil. and some salt and pepper. I'm going to bake that at 425 for about maybe 35 minutes. You can just roast these up until they're kind of as crispy and brown as you want them to be. Lovely roasted turnips. Lovely. I've got some new lettuce out of the garden. I still have this dressing to use up, and I think I'll put some of these pickled radishes and stuff on top and make 4 salads. Some for work lunches, meal prep, and a couple for dinners. I've got a little bit of chopped up pickled radish with some of those garlic scapes as well. And then it looks really pretty. I made up some to-go containers for meal prep work lunches. Mixed in later. There you go. So that it isn't like a soggy salad by the time you get to work. Ta-da! All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 salads to go with our chicken dinners. One of these giant chicken drumstick legs. Is this meal ever going to be like a mix match of things? I've got this leftover rice, and I have all of these breadcrumbs. They're like crunchy breadcrumbs from roasting the chicken that I don't really want to throw away. It's got a lot of good flavor in there, so I think I'm going to mix up some rice in there. That's about a cup of rice, so maybe a 1/4 cup of rice per serving. Saving this flavor stuff. I don't know. Sometimes in this challenge, I just can't bear to throw stuff away, so I'm always looking anyway to just use up that food. Whatever you can do with it. Why not? Hey? Got this weird rice that I made up. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm sure there's something more creative I could have done with it. I think I was gonna make fried rice with it, but it's just been in the freezer, not doing much of anything, so why not use it up? I know that some people don't like eating leftovers. Mr. Wanders works such long hours at work that he has to take food to eat. If he didn't eat leftovers, he would just starve all day. So I don't know, and I don't like cooking all the time, so I like to eat leftovers so I don't have to make another meal. There it is, 4 meals of chicken drumsticks, breaded like shake and bake drumsticks with some roasted turnips and this strange rice concoction that I made with some nice salads with that dressing we made last week and the pickled radishes. Let's taste this weird rice. I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah. It just tastes like chicken rice with some crunchy breadcrumbs in it. It was fine. It's nothing special. Crispy turnips. Oh, we have so much lettuce coming out of the garden, and I was away for a week, so we have a whole bunch more lettuce to eat. It was a good deal. That lettuce pack that I planted was just a variety pack of lettuce. It's nice to have a selection. Those pickled radishes are so tasty. The longer they're in there, the better they are. Let's try this chicken with this breading on it. You can kind of taste that ranch dressing a little bit. I like it with those seasoned breadcrumbs. Oh, it's quite juicy. Oh, it's pretty good. Well, that is a thumbs up. Excellent regular dinner. I'm going to gobble this up for 4 dinners. Oh, there's red pepper flakes in there. Make that a little bit spicy, and it's really, really yummy. All right, from that chicken that I cooked up in the oven, roasted just with salt and pepper, I got all the meat off of the drumsticks, and then I saved this, including the jelly juices that were in the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna throw this in a Ziploc and freeze it for when I wanna make stock. And this I have for chicken meat. It was a little bit of a hassle to get it off the bones. I think for me, it's a little bit easier when I boil it, or maybe it's the cut of meat. It was very sinewy and kind of a pain to get it off the bones, but it's all done now. Ta-da! I'm going to rinse, sort, and cook up 1 cup of these black beans. Cook those until they're soft. For 3 dinners, I'm going to make up some black bean and rice, chicken tostados. Is that how you say tostados? Tostados. I'm going to top it with some lettuce that I just kind of chopped up and some sour cream. I've got some green onions as well. This mix, I'm going to mix up with some onion powder, some oregano, cumin, garlic, and this spicy hot diced tomato rotel. Toast these, put it on top of there, and top it with some lettuce and some sour cream for 3 meals. I'm gonna make 6 of these tostados. I'm gonna cover both sides with oil, and then I'm gonna bake them in the oven 4 minutes aside. In a pan, I'm gonna mix 2 cups of chicken. This is my cooked, chopped chicken drumsticks. About 1.5 cups of rice, and 1 cup of black beans, made about 2.5 cups cooked. 1 can of hot rotel. It's enough water to rinse out the can. 1/2 teaspoon. Garlicky. About 1 teaspoon of cumin. Just a little 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. Especially not looking very saucy, so I think I'm going to add 1 of these tomato pastes. It's about 1/3 of a can of tomato paste. I kind of want it to be sort of saucy. I'm kind of mashing it a little bit with a potato masher just to kind of make it kind of creamier. Eileen A, or Mama Bear, longtime viewer, suggested I mix up this tomato paste with the rotel and make some enchiladas. It's kind of like that, except I'm going to put it on tostados. I think it'll be a good combination, actually. Maybe not super authentic, but with the rotel and the spices and the tomato paste, I think it'll be just fine. I think it'll be just fine. I'm so impressed with these crunchy shells. I want to try it again. So that's what we're doing. But you could totally put these inside the shells and then make up that enchilada sauce I think that I made last week or the first week, and pour it over top of it and bake it in the oven for sure. Corn tortillas, they shrink quite a bit. How tiny they are now. It's just tiny. So cute. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna meal prep the other meal because it's fun to try. And I think what I'll do is I'm gonna layer it like a lasagna in this bowl, but I can't decide. Maybe meat first and then it toast, and then 1 of these corn tortillas and then more meat, corn tortilla. No, corn tortilla, meat, and then the topping, right? That is a lot of topping, actually, like tons. I probably could have done 2 more of the shells and made 4 servings, but I didn't need 4 servings. So put a little bit of lettuce on top. This is very, very hot. I'm not going to do that one because I'm going to share that with Mr. Wanders when he gets home. A little bit of yogurt or sour cream on top. I have to be honest, I have no idea how to eat these. I have not a clue. I think that it's going to end up just being a big mess of like tortilla shell on my plate. Is that how it goes? A couple of green onions. Turning this one into sort of like a lasagna. I'm gonna put another shell there. And then I put more filling on top like a lasagna. This is the first time actually that I've thought about cheese this week. I haven't had cheese, but I have had sour cream and it's been holding me over pretty good, but some cheese on this would be wonderful. I'm not gonna put the toppings on. I'm gonna put them in a separate container. Tostado, is that how you say it? Tostado lasagna will work perfectly. Heat it up in the microwave, put some lettuce, sour cream, and green onion on top, and then just kind of eat it like a taco bowl type thing, I think. I wonder if you can just pick this up like a sandwich. Maybe. Look at that. Look. Actually, yes. You can do that. It's fabulous. I wish it had cheese. I wish I had some salsa to put on there. It's like having nachos in your hand. This is so good. And it's spicy. Where would the spice have come from? Only from the hot Rotel, right? I didn't put any red pepper flakes in that. I put cumin, but that's not so spicy. I didn't put any chili powder in. Yeah, okay. I like the hot, spicy Rotel. It wasn't even mildly spicy, the mild. So I like the hot better. This is hilariously fun. I love this. I love it. It's gonna be messy, but it is so yummy. Some fresh tomatoes would be nice. Oh, my tomatoes just aren't growing very well. But yeah, fresh tomatoes would be fabulous, or some salsa. Yummy. This is everything that I have at the end of week number 3. Some things in the freezer, pantry, and some vegetables, plus unlimited oil, unlimited vinegar, and a selection of spices, of course. But let's go through it. I still have some yogurt, not very much, maybe this much. I'll need to make some more. I don't know. Have you ever made yogurt out of oat milk? I have a lot of oat milk left. I'm doing really well with conserving my butter. I've got lots of butter left. I've got these corn tortillas, such a huge stack of them. Black beans. I have about a cup of these fusilli pasta noodles left. Some sugar, flour, and baking powder. About half of this 16 bean soup mix. A lot of potatoes, actually. 3 chicken bouillon cubes left. I've got chicken bones and chicken skin and diced up cooked chicken left over, which is awesome, so useful. And a couple of these banana strawberry loaves frozen in the freezer. This half a banana frozen in the freezer. 1/3 of a can of tomato paste frozen in the freezer. These 2 hamburger buns are going into the freezer. I've got some onion that I froze for stock in the freezer. 2 of these pita breads in the freezer. 2 of these Casa Mendoza triple baked tortillas. I've got a lot of tortillas. Just saying. And then this is rice as well. I've got some of those breadcrumbs that I made still like pickling liquids and pickled radishes. I don't know, I've got to use those up pretty quick. And then I've got the salad dressing that I made 2 weeks ago. I do have a fair number of eggs. I only used 1 egg this whole week, so that is awesome. I don't have to buy eggs for next week. I've got another can of tomato paste and these diced tomatoes. Anything else that I'm missing? I don't think so. It's not a bad start to next week, actually. Let me know in the comments if you had this in your fridge / freezer / pantry, what you would buy to try to make 21 meals next week. I love to hear you guys' great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can click my face to subscribe to see more videos from me. Click that bell icon. I'll leave links to the entire 2024 $21 a week grocery challenge if you want to watch everything from the beginning, as well as anything else that I think that you're interested in. And I appreciate you all being here watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye.